You know, you see ads all the time, but have you ever stopped to think about what really makes them tick? Today, we're not talking about some big budget Super Bowl commercial. Nope. We're going to deconstruct a tiny online ad piece by piece and uncover the surprisingly powerful story it tells about our search for clarity.
This question, wow, it gets right to the heart of something we've all felt, hasn't it? That feeling of being totally stuck at a crossroads, maybe with your job or a relationship, and just wishing, man, I wish I had a map for what's next. It's such a universal feeling.
Well, turns out that exact feeling is what this one online ad for a psychic clairvoyant just zeroes in on. It promises to give you that very map. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how it builds that promise just by looking at its language and its structure.
So, where does the ad even start? Well, it begins by nailing a core human problem, our constant search for answers, especially when it comes to those big life questions that can leave us feeling completely lost. And just look at how specific and relatable these areas are. The ad doesn't mess around with abstract ideas. It hits the big three where we all crave a little clarity: love, career, and just our general emotional well-being. It knows these are the zones where feeling lost really hits the hardest.
Okay, so the ad has hooked you with the problem. Now what's the solution it's offering? That gets us right to its core promise.
The provider is called a psychic clairvoyant, which is interesting enough, but you gotta pay attention to the words used to describe what they do. It's not just advice. It's potent, spiritual guidance and support. That one word, potent, it's doing a lot of heavy lifting. It suggests something powerful, effective, way more than just a friendly chat, right?
And here it is. This is the absolute heart of the ad's appeal. This single kind of poetic phrase, reveal the undiscovered paths of life. That's the central pillar of the whole message. It reframes the whole thing not as simple fortune-telling, but as a journey of discovery. It's not about predicting one single future, but about uncovering possibilities you didn't even know were there.
All right, so we've got the problem and we've got the promise. But how does it actually work? What's the method? The ad gives a simple, even if it's a little mysterious, explanation.
And the whole mechanism comes down to just two words: intuitive energy. This is presented as the secret sauce, the special tool the psychic uses to get the job done. It's a bit abstract, yeah, but in the ads world, it sounds like a very specific, almost technical thing that makes it all happen.
So from that one key ingredient, you can pretty much map out the whole journey the ad wants you to imagine. It's a clear four-step process. First, you show up looking for guidance. Then, the psychic works their magic with intuitive energy. This reveals new paths. And finally, this is the most important part, you're empowered to actually move forward. It's a really clean, compelling path from confusion to action.
And this is where we get to the real prize, the ultimate payoff. See, the ad makes it super clear this isn't just about getting information. It's about a complete emotional transformation. The service is basically framed as a bridge, right? It takes you from this side of the river, where you're feeling uncertain and hesitant, all the way over to the other side, where you've got confidence and peace of mind. And honestly, that emotional feeling, that's the real product they're selling. The psychic reading is just how you get there. And this is such a crucial point. The ad isn't just selling you a peek into the future. It's selling empowerment. The whole promise ends with the phrase, to help you take steps forward. The message is clear. Knowing the path is one thing, but actually walking it, that's the whole goal. And of course, no ad is complete with a call to action, which, yep, it's a website. But here's a little curious detail I noticed. The service is in Brisbane, but the URL is astrologerinmelbourne.com. Just a small kind of interesting quirk in how it's all put together. And that really brings us to the big takeaway here. Breaking down this little ad, it isn't really about psychics at all, is it? It's about the incredible power of a good message and a really fundamental human need. When we feel lost, what we're often looking for isn't just an answer, but a better, more compelling story for our own lives. One with undiscovered paths, confidence, and peace of mind. So the real question it leaves us with is this: what does our universal search for guidance really tell us about our deep, deep need for a good story?